again after this break. Not so long time, but the break. And now we're going to start the second part of our seminars. The rules will be absolutely the same. I have sent you the schedule of the first seminar or the first presentation in our chat. First team will be Skillbox. Please, colleagues, prepare your presentation, share your screen. In parallel, I will ask you about your scores. I send you your list of scores 2 or 3 weeks before, but I didn't get any questions. If everything is okay, please let me know. Of course, the final score we will find some later, but this intermediate scores you have sent, and if you have any question about it, please let me know. So we're going to start the presentation. The first team will be Skillbox. Please, dear friends, share your screen and let's get started by absolutely the same rules.
I'm sorry, here is written that only meeting organizers and presenters can share screen, so I cannot share my screen now.
Please, yeah, of course I will.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't save those changes. Yeah, please try it again. Yeah, perfect.
Yes, I think we can start. Hello everyone. Today we are going to tell you about brand of our company. Our company is Skillbox. The next slide, please. Here you can see a logo of Skillbox, and mission of Skillbox is to empower everyone to be relevant and in-demand specialist right now, regardless of age and geography. Our company is Skillbox. The company mainly develops online and sells training courses that are reasonably well packaged. That is, each course is detailed, the course plan, what will be there, why it is needed, so the people have no objections, and they are immediately ready to buy it. For clients, there are possibility to buy a course in installments, average monthly payment about 4,000 rubles. The first payment for several courses is only 6 months after the start of training. Also, there is a diploma. At the end of the course, students will have a thesis for real customers and help in finding a job. The courses provided an opportunity to master and demanding profession from scratch and receive a recommendation for employment. What about history of our brand? The Skillbox education platform was launched in 2016. The company was founded by Igor Koropov and Dmitry Krutov. Later, they were joined by Andrei Anishchenko and Sergei Popkov. In February 2019, Mail.ru Group acquired 3% of the company, then increased its share to 10% in March, and finally to 60% in December of the same year. According to the annual report of Mail.ru Group, the controlling stake in the company cost it 1.6 billion rubles. VK until October 12, 2021, Mail.ru Group is a Russian technology corporation founded in 1998. VK's assets include the social networks ВКонтакте, Одноклассники, Мой Мир, Mail.ru, and the mail service, messengers ICQ, agent engine Mail.ru, TamTam, and ad service Yula. The search engine Mail.ru Search, and others. OK also owns a number of online educational platforms, Skillbox, Geekbrain, Skill Factory, as well as a 25% share in the Uchiru service. And now my colleague will continue.
So Skillbox has a lot of educational materials for free, and the idea is a customer finds something interesting for him or her for free, gets deeper into the topic, and after that buys a course in order to get more particular skills and gain experience working under professionals' control and guidance. One of the founders of Skillbox, Dmitry Krutov, said in one interview that the main competitor of Skillbox is not Mythology or Geekbrains, as we said before, but the main competitors are entertainment services which take people's attention at time, such as different platforms with video and photos, movies and soap series like even Netflix. Skillbox uses very aggressive marketing in order to catch customers' attention, give them an understanding of their opportunities, and show the diversity of the market and help to gain new skills and professions. Skillbox makes people think about education, make them interested in self-development, competing with entertainment contents. Skillbox was one of the first players at the market. Management team was consisted of professionals who were ready to implement something new on the market. The powerful sides of Skillbox are strong technological part, level of production, level of products, industrial partners who employ students, and graduation projects with the partnership with leaders of the market. People are looking forward for opportunities that Skillbox provides. And now about the associations with brands. Functional benefit provide customers with the relevant and up-to-date skills, information, and experience in various areas through online platform. About emotional benefit, to ensure an inspiration about future opportunities and satisfaction and maybe excitement about information learned, and also motivation to be employed after the course completed. Self-expressive benefit is a willingness of a person to study something new, to change himself and his life, maybe to enrich knowledge and spend time on this vital item instead of TV or social medias, for example. Social benefit, opportunity to improve person's job position, so career opportunities. The person is more valuable due to the novelty and skills he or she receives through the courses. Now about the loyalty program. There is a loyalty program available, and the student receives a cash reward or free course for himself for the referred friend. So that's all. Thank you for your attention. We are ready to answer your questions.
Thank you for this presentation. So, can you give some details about measuring of brand equity, and how is it with in Skillbox with brand equity?
One minute, please. Skillbox is the main company of online education in Russia, as I suppose, and for these reasons, there are maybe some courses are more expensive in comparison with other courses, but I think that quality and possibility and opportunities that Skillbox will give their students are worth to be expensive.
Not exactly as I got. The question was about the measuring the level of brand equity and how this company could prove the high level of brand equity. Maybe you could guess about 2 or 3 ways to find the value of brand equity for Skillbox. How could we understand that the value of this brand is high? My friends, I need your suggestions. Maybe you're not sure about your answer, but we will try to find the right decision right now. If you don't have any ideas, please let me know. We will try to find it together.
To be honest, please, may you, for the future, Sveta, to repeat your questions in the chat. And yes, may you please help us to elaborate on this? What do you mean by this question? Because unfortunately,
To be honest,
I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's absolutely normal because it is very wide question, very wide issue, how to measure the value of brand equity. There are a few ways to find, but I think that the best one is to, if the company provides an IPO, to find the value of attractiveness of their positions by this IPO. So this is a financial way, but more easy ways to find how this company could attract new users and compare it with the other competitors. For example, there is the Skillbox, and there is any open information or open access that this company attracts some value for new customers during this period of time. And you can find or try to suggest about the same actions by their competitors and about their success in this actions. So, for example, Skillbox find 100 new users by day, and their competitors find only 10 and 15 respectively. So we could understand that some of those users, some of those 100 users are attracted by the high level of brand equity of the Skillbox because they have they understand that this is the good brand. It is very important to find and to get new knowledge from the good brand and etc. So a part of these 100 people are attracted by the brand value. Of course, we can't find the particular decision which of those people are attracted by that, but we can find that Skillbox brand is quite more success in this comparison with their competitors. Sorry for the same words. So it is absolutely not very particular ways, but we could to estimate any influences in this area. So this is the answer as I got it. Yeah.
In the lecture, there was mentioned that brand equity can be measured through market share and net profit, if I'm not mistaken. So I would just ask for some of this data.
Yeah, of course, there are a lot of ways.
It was the first intention, so yeah.
Yeah, of course, we could measure by the value of the brand, by the market share of this brand, but and there are a lot of other ways. But of course, we should understand that we need to compare this data for at least 2 periods of time, market share in 2019 and market share 2020, or after 1 or 3 months. And it is pretty hard to find this data in the open access. So just I'd like to say that the best way is to find and to compare the same data by the same period of time about the how this brand is, why this brand and by what the value of customer is more attractive for clients for this period of time, because it is it's maybe I'm not sure can we find this data, but generally this is the easiest way. But of course we could use another tools to find the market share, for example brand equity, for example market share. Okay, let's move to the second question.
Yeah, now second question. Did the Skillbox have a rebranding, and when, and how many times? And I dropped this question in the chat.
I think, as I know, Skillbox don't have any rebranding campaigns because now Skillbox is a part of Mail.ru group, and now it is VK from October of this year, and Skillbox is enough small group in comparison with such big companies as Mail.ru and so on. And Skillbox, from the start of its existence, was a company that provides online courses in different digital directions. And rebranding campaigns they don't don't do different rebrand moves.
Okay, and our last question is: in order to have like a good brand name, Skillbox should provide clients with why their courses are of high quality and high relevance. So how do they prove the quality of their courses? Because there are hundreds of courses, and there is like possibility that not all of them are high quality.
Well, I think all questions for all the presentations, they are pretty about the same actually, and something one mentioned 100 times. I wanted to add for the first question, I'm sorry for jumping from one to other. At least we may say that by the end of the August 2021, Skillbox attracted 160,000 people who study their courses for some fee. And we know that it is more than for their competitors, and it is more than it was before. And returning to your question, did you write it in the chat? I'm sorry.
1 second, I can read.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, maybe what we may say about the popularity of courses. Why Skillbox is well known nowadays? Because it was the first company which introduced such platform with the online courses, and it gained popularity through the variability of courses. So there are lots of themes and topics for different courses. And what is also really important and essential, that some courses are provided by some specialists, and there were some interviews or stories about like, I don't know, famous tutors, maybe not really famous, but there was a story that for example, the course is about the analytics, and there is some practical part, and this practical part is checked, for example, or commented by a person who made an analytics for Tinkoff, and like gained it was not about analytics, it was about design. So a person who made a design for Tinkoff, and who like gained a lot of money for this project. So this famous person who has an experience and who has a name, like we may say, he checks your works and make you some comments. Also about, because these courses, some of these courses are held in cooperation with partnership universities, which is also essential. And such universities are well known, such as Van Hicks and other ones. So I think that the quality of the courses are provided by this stuff. And about the relevance, we also said many times that courses are updated as soon as possible due to the modern world and situation in this.
Thank you for answers.
Yes, good. Let's move to the second team, the sales.
Okay. And our question is, do you think that the brand name reflects its mission and core value?
Well, there is something interesting about it, like the box of skills. Yes, of course, there is a connection between like the association about what you're gonna have, like the skills, and then they have the marketing campaign about what are the skills, how relevant are they. And maybe some of my partners want to add something, or you may write your question in the chat. Maybe I didn't answer it fully.
I think there is nothing to add because our name of our company is self-explanatory, and yes, it depicts the core value of our company.
Okay. Thanks for your answer.
And I will ask the next question. What do you think about brand hierarchy in your company? In the lecture, we discussed corporate brands, umbrella brands, endorsed brands, individual brands, and according to this classification, what is Skillbox? I will send in the chat.
Skillbox is a part of big companies Mail.ru Group, and Mail.ru Group, I think it is a house of no, it is endorsed brands because in the direction there are many different types of activities and mail and educational companies and different things. We said it in our presentation. And Skillbox is part of this big company.
Okay, thank you. I understand.
Thank you for your presentation. And our last question is, as it was discussed at the lecture, there are 4 brand roles: strategic brand, linchpin brand, silver bullet brand, and cash cow brand. What is the role of your brand? What do you think? I will write my question in chat.
My friends, time's left. Skillbox team, are ready to answer. Not just, let's try to suggest.
We suppose that our brand is strategic brand because we think that Skillbox will become a main company in this direction of development that is online education, and Skillbox will give will give benefit people, and we think so.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Yeah, thank you. I will agree with you because it is strategic brand now that is going to be a cash cow brand in the future because Skillbox is going to increase the market share to attract more people, and now they are not so success in the earning money. But further, when they get the necessary value of the market share, it could increase their cash flows because of the increasing prices and of the decreasing the value of their competitors, decreasing the value of product of their competitors because they will not have the same value of clients, and they will be not able to improve their products, to find good teachers, to provide good seminars, and etc. So that is the strategic brand that is going to be the cash cow in the future. I don't know in what time, and nobody knows, but this strategy is absolutely usual for the huge IT projects. Okay, thank you so much, the next team, for your presentation, for the answers. And we're going to start the second presentation. Give me a minute to find the schedule. Yeah, it will be Tinkoff, and their opponents will be Skillbox and Spotify. Tinkoff team, if someone is here, please share a screen and let's start this presentation.
So now, okay. So let me begin. Today we're going to show you our analysis on Tinkoff company brands. Brands are crucial for today's marketing strategy. No company can succeed without them. Meaningfully, brand is a promise to customers of what they can expect from the product. So let's see what is the situation with brands in Tinkoff's case. To start our analysis, we need to enumerate the brands of the Tinkoff company due to the concept of brand hierarchy. Hierarchy of brands. Tinkoff Bank. It is the main and the ordinary parent brand of the company. Tinkoff Investment. It is a vital brand which was formed after a while after the firm's launch. Tinkoff Business. This brand was designed directly for the B2C sector. For the B2B sector. Tinkoff Mobile. Current brand was developed in cooperation with Tele2. Tinkoff Travel. This is also a result of cooperation between Tinkoff and different traveling services. Tinkoff Capital. It is an executing in a brand which can somehow communicate with other firms, making deals, and a lot more. Tinkoff Cashbox. This brand was created particularly for business to solve its payment problems. Tinkoff Center of Development. It is a technologically orientated brand which provides Tinkoff company with new technological solutions. Tinkoff Insurance. Tinkoff also provides its customers with retail insurance services. And finally, Tinkoff Education. Actually, it is not a commercial brand which tends to help people of different ages to improve their skills and knowledges in modern areas. Its courses vary from school ones to professional ones. Now let's turn to brand architecture. So Tinkoff company corresponds to soft brand architecture. And as for the system of brands, Tinkoff company's brands are organized as a house of brands type, in which the main brand is Tinkoff Bank. Now on the slide, you can see our handmade chart on the topic of distribution of Tinkoff brands according to two axes: financial or non-financial type of activity and a B2C or B2B sphere of activity. It can also be noted that Tinkoff Capital and Tinkoff Center of Development are inner brands, so their placement here is conditional. Now my colleague will continue the presentation about brand roles.
Brand roles. So Tinkoff Bank is a linchpin brand because Tinkoff Bank is the main brand, which is the basement of all Tinkoff company. This is why we decided that it is a linchpin brand. Silver bullet brands are Tinkoff Travel, Tinkoff Cashbox, Tinkoff Education, Tinkoff Insurance, because these brands positively influences the image of another brands. Tinkoff Business and is a strategic brand because this brand is expected to be leader in the future, and Tinkoff Investment and Tinkoff Capital are cash cow brand because this brand generates high profits without major investments thanks to its customer base. Brand portfolio. Tinkoff Investment, Tinkoff Business, Tinkoff Bank are leaders because they have high market potential and strong brand. Tinkoff Travel and Tinkoff Cashbox are divestment brand because they have low market potential and weak brand. Tinkoff Capital is a questionable brand because they have high market potential and weak brand. And Tinkoff Education and Tinkoff Insurance are working brand because they have low market potential and strong brand. Portfolio management. Tinkoff brand is successful because of growth of brand equity and good financial decisions. It didn't rebrand and didn't have cannibalization of brands.
As for measuring brand equity, there are two approaches, qualitative and quantitative. And in a quantitative approach, we examine the market share. And Sberbank, VTB, and Tinkoff were among the top three banks with the largest share of clients who used financial services in 30 days. Also, in mid-2029, Sovcombank, Tinkoff, and Sberbank became the leaders in growth in the credit card market. And also in 2021, the bank was included in the list of systematically important credit institutions due to active business growth and as well as extensive client base. This data show that the bank is developing rapidly and the number of clients is growing, which means that brand is recognizable and attractive. As for qualitative approach, Tinkoff has become the leader among Russian banks in terms of customer loyalty, as evidenced by banking market survey conducted by Ramir. Also, bank customer satisfaction was assessed using the NPS methodology, Net Promoter Score. NPS is a metric related to the customer's willingness to recommend a company to their friends or relatives, as well to the customer satisfaction and loyalty. So with NPS of 26% and the share of loyal customers reaching 50%, Tinkoff has become the leader among Russian banks. This data also shows customer loyalty and that many of them perceive the brand positively. Next slide, please.
Now we will analyze Tinkoff using the IDA model. At the moment, Tinkoff is one of the most recognizable brands in the Russian Federation, for which it even received an award in 2020. This allows Tinkoff to be in demand and have a large number of clients. All of this has researched such proportions due to the fact that the company has correctly chosen advertising campaigns aimed at a young audience. Tinkoff has a very good market feel, which allowed it to become one of the fastest growing banks. It was on the first in Russia to introduce the cashback system for cards and also began to actively develop a broker. Thanks to this, Tinkoff has become in the eyes of consumers and brand that allows you to save and increase your capital. Due to the fact that the consumers can receive cashback from purchases, they prefer Tinkoff as a bank for daily use. Also, Tinkoff provides free training when registering a brokerage account and gift promotions for completing it, allowing him to become attractive in this area. Finally, when the consumer has had a positive dispositions toward the brands, she'll be willing to try it out by it. At this stage, Tinkoff is holding discounts on its goods and services. For example, there are many promotions like referring a friend and get a monetary compensation or other profitable promotions that push you to make a purchase. It's profitable for companies that the client becomes a regular one. The cost of attracting a buyer who is already familiar with the company and make a purchase is much less than others a primary customer. The basic for converting primary customers to repeat customers is high brand loyalty. One of the main priorities of Tinkoff is customer focus. This is why the company tries to anticipate the needs of the client. And it's also important that the client receive quality service that can be recommended to friends. Next slide. Tinkoff is aimed at a young audience, which is why the functional advantage is the absence of offline office, which saves client time. Also, in the bank's application, there is a robot assistant Oleg who can answer all your questions, with the help of whose support is carried out between the company and client. Since the audience of the company is mainly young people, Tinkoff spends most of the funds of advertising in various social networks with bloggers who exercise the trust of young people. As for the internal policy of the company, recruitment, training, and career growth in the bank is solely on the merits of the employee and implies no discriminations of employees. Next slide. As for loyalty, to the company, Tinkoff has already received it at the proper levels. Transparent cashback system, clear commission rates, and transparent conditions for concluding transactions have led to the fact that consumers trust Tinkoff and willingly purchase various goods and services of the brand. As I said before, training in Tinkoff investment made investing easier and more understandable, which allowed Tinkoff to have almost half of all brokerage accounts in Russia. Also, Tinkoff constantly comes up with some new advantages of its product, which in case of failure are modernized and improved to return customer loyalty. Of course, a sufficient number of banks are also trying to compete, but Tinkoff is ahead of them, fairly becoming a generation of ideas. Perhaps this is due to the fact that the average age of the company's employees is 28 years old, and they are representatives of a new generation who are not afraid to take risks and try new things.
So, summing up, Tinkoff is a great ecosystem that involves different services which are in high demand within its potential customers. So, thought out business plan gives an opportunity to be one of the market leaders. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
That's good. Thank you so much for our presentation. It's well structured and a lot of details, and it would be really hard to find good questions. Thank you. It's a really good presentation. Now we're going to debate. Your opinions will be in our chat, and it will be Skillbox and Spotify. Skillbox, please, you will be the first one.
Yes. Our first question. Whose brand do you think is stronger, Tinkoff or Sberbank? And why do you think so?
Okay, thank you for your question. Give us a minute. Это запланировано или нет?
Это их собственный вопрос, я тебе скинула, я скинула в общий чат, они сказали, что не поменяют один вопрос.
Ну, здесь надо сказать просто, что Сбербанк государственный банк, Тинькофф это как бы частный банк, и у Сбербанка больше охват, у него большая стабильность, вот. И Тинькофф, собственно
Речь
говоря,
идет
находится
про бренд. Это не совсем одно и то же.
Про брендинг именно, да?
Да. Я вот как-то даже...
Ну, поскольку Тинькофф в догоняющих находится, он периодически проворачивает очень интересные акции. Вот, в частности, там с этим бесплатным обслуживанием, с какими-то бонусами за приглашение друзей и так далее. В общем, так или иначе, для новых пользователей он может быть даже более привлекателен, чем Сбер, потому что Сбербанку нет нужды прибегать к каким-то акциям специфическим.
Еще от целевой аудитории зависит. Ну, то есть среди кого Сбербанк и бренд Сбера и Тинькова сильнее. Среди молодежи там сильнее Тинькофф, скажем, а среди более взрослых людей, ну, Сбер, наверное.
Да, окей. Так, кто ответит? Ну, я как понимаю, вы можете вдвоем ответить, только в какой последовательности?
Ну, я думаю, ты можешь ответить.
Можно Владимир ответит, пожалуйста? Мне очень понравилось.
Да я не знаю, что говорить. У меня broken English.
Нам сейчас сказал.
Да.
Блин, мне
Я
надо
подхвачу.
структурировать, я сложно
Я
выдаю
подхвачу,
вот
как я
такие фразы.
говорила. Пожалуйста.
Так, давайте я это запишу хотя бы.
Время. Ладно,
Well, it's a rather complicated question because if we mean what is stronger in considering brands, we should say that Sber and Tinkoff have a rather different target audience, so their aims are a little bit different, and there are some differences in strategies of these banks. So, for example, Sber is the brand of Sber. Brand has an, so to say, image in eyes of a lot of people as a government bank. So it isn't necessary for Sber to prove their responsibility and to fight for clients' loyalty, because their target audience is wider than the target audience of Tinkoff Bank. And in this way, Tinkoff is at the second position, and it tries to become a leader of the market. So it does some actions which are not impossible but unnecessary for Sberbank, such as free
maintenance.
Free maintenance of debit cards, or some promo actions such as inviting a friend and becoming some and getting some profit of it. So
Tinkoff brand may be weaker than Sber's one now, because Sberbank is just a leader and Tinkoff isn't. But in some particular cases, Tinkoff brand can be more attractive to new customers than the Sberbank brand. But all in all, it's a very, I don't know, not easy to answer question. So that's how I answer.
I want to add that these banks exist in some kind of unequal conditions. So Tinkoff is relatively new bank, so it is vital for it to attract new customers and maintain their focus on the particular usage of bank services. So in some particular cases, Tinkoff branding and services will definitely be more stronger than Sberbank ones, because Tinkoff is some kind of extensively developing product. So that is my point.
Thank you for your answer.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. Let's go. Let's move to the second question.
So, question?
Yes. Our next question. You've mentioned cashback service and transparency as factors which are increasing loyalty. But other banks also possess these features. So could you give any other examples of Tinkoff actions aimed to develop customers' loyalty?
Okay, thank you.
Сначала ответ могу ответить.
Sorry, can I rephrase your question? Not other, but could you please clarify why those steps are so important for customers, because they are usual for the competitors too. So why you could describe the steps as competitive advantages for increasing customers' loyalty?
О. Анжелика. Ну, это вот была часть Анжелики, она это прописывала, поэтому я на это обратила внимание, что у нас эта презентация позиционируется как ключевой фактор. Вот. Короче, вопрос состоит в том, почему именно эти качества, которые также есть у других банков, позиционируются как очень важные для того, чтобы аудитория была лояльной.
Там спросили про другие типа качества, какие еще качества поддерживают лояльность клиентов.
Да, на это у меня есть ответ, но Буковский перефразировал вопрос.
А что он сказал? Я его не слушал просто.
Он сказал, почему именно вот эти качества очень важны для аудитории, раз они есть тоже у других банков, почему мы их выделили. Transparency и сейчас. Transparency и кэшбэк.
А что входит в понятие transparency?
Да, прозрачность операций.
Ну, так или иначе, можно сказать просто, что все это connected with money, so it is... Господи, почему я на английском говорю? Короче, это все является первостепенным для пользователя, потому что это, в конце концов, банк.
10 minutes for all other questions, so please try to get answer on this one as promptly as it's possible.
Владимир, пожалуйста, скажи.
Well, I guess these qualities are the most important and are actively being used by other banks because they are closely connected with money usage, and they also gives customer an illusion of earning an additional money from cashback service, for example. So I guess this is the basis of bank work. So, and it extends the appearance.
Moreover, Tinkoff Bank positions itself like a bank of high profits and very transparent bank. So it's just the positioning of the brand. It's key features by definition.
Okay, but you describe it as competitive advantages, and now you say that it is an absolutely usual step for each banks. I think that the difference is then the Tinkoff Bank try to be absolutely predictable for customers and to show that the situation of any special terms that are not so usual for other customers, and any situation when banks decrease your cashback without your agreement that might be usual for Sberbank and etc. that are absolutely impossible for Tinkoff. So they are going to say that if we decide that you will get this cashback, you will get it. And you will don't face with any problems in this way. So Tinkoff banks try to show their reliability in this way, that you could absolutely count on this bank without any problem. So and they describe those steps as the competitive advantages. And if you try to compare it with the Sberbank and VTB, of course, you will find a lot of cases when cashback will be decreased and company or customers are not able to spend this money if we are going to tell about this Sberbank, etc. So, okay, thank you. And thank you. Third question, please.
And our last question, why does Tinkoff develop non-financial projects? What are the benefits of the company?
Okay, thank you. Just a second.
У меня есть ответ на вопрос. Well, from our point of view, through the development of Tinkoff Education, a company also, which is non-financial project, a company also builds a brand image, the purpose of which is not only to make a profit, but also to improve the quality of life of society. By developing an educational project, Tinkoff shows that its plans go far into the future, and it is constantly growing and ready to help those who really want to develop themselves. And by creating its own educational project and selecting strong students for it, Tinkoff thereby invests in its future, because it raises those specialists that the company needs itself. And for this reason, this project is not a charity. It is, if you like, an investment and part of a strategy. I guess so.
Thank you for your answers.
So we can start on the Spotify chat.
Yeah. Of
It
course.
seems that Tinkoff has extended significantly over the past few years. What risk go with this growth?
Okay, give us several seconds.
Чат скинул. Это не проблема, еще вопрос нормально. Есть ответ. Так, сейчас вам скажу, какой ответ у меня. В общем, самый большой риск – это, скорее всего, потеря качества в некоторых частях компании. Например, Сбер, как главный конкурент Тинькова, тоже очень сильно вырос, но не все сервисы показывают высокий уровень качества. We are ready, and most probably there can occur the most common risk, which is connected with the loss of quality of some parts of the company. And for example, Sber the main competitor of Tinkoff, has also grown so much, but not all its services represent a high level of quality. So Tinkoff must make a lot of effort in order not to spoil the face of the brand and not betray one of its core values, which is to provide services of exceptional high quality.
Okay, and our second question is, in what way silver-bullet brands influence the main linchpin one?
Okay, thank you for your question.
Я думаю, надо пример какой-то привести касательно просто на примере какого-то бренда, который отмечен как Silver Bullet. Tinkoff Travel. Tinkoff Travel, Cashbox, и еще Client Service, что-то такое. Да. Ну давай.
Let's answer that question by the example. So, for example, let's take Tinkoff Center of Development, which we stated as a Silver Bullet brand. So, Tinkoff Center of Development, as we have already mentioned, provides a Tinkoff company with some technological ideas, which definitely make the work of Tinkoff Bank brand easier. So this is the example of how Silver Bullet brand can support and somehow helps Linchpin brand. So that is the appropriate connection between them.
Thank you. And our last question is, could you please describe Tinkoff in more details according to its brand associations? Probably there are any self-expressive benefits, for example.
Okay, thank you. Give us several seconds.
Я писала Анжелике, спрашивала, что она может сказать. Мы тут все на интуиции действовали. Я думаю, что, например, можно сказать про emotional benefits и self-representative benefits. Потому что, например, если Тинькофф позиционирует себя как молодежный и там дерзкий бренд отчасти, то, может быть клиентом этого банка тоже как-то, не знаю, круто, престижно, чем, не знаю, пользоваться Совкомбанком каким-нибудь, например.
Да, звучит логично. Ответишь, если что, дополню.
Да, давай. Well, we guess that we can speak a little bit more about self-representative and emotional benefits. So Tinkoff presents itself as a rebellious and progressive bank. So maybe it's more prestigious and for young generation to use Tinkoff instead of, for example, Совкомбанk or other other banks that are associated with all the generations and all the problems. And furthermore, using speaking about emotional benefits, it's quite more convenient and comfortable to be a client of Tinkoff because of its policy and its high level of quality of client service. We think so.
Thank you for your answer.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll have the break for 10 minutes, and the next team will be Avia Sales, their presentation. So see you again after 10 minutes. See you again. Yeah.
But the break should be half an hour, shouldn't it?
But I'm not sure that we will have the lesson till 2:30. Okay, let's see you again in 1 p.m. But we will be more accurate with the time frames because I need to stop our seminar right in 2:30. So, okay.
And
see you again after.
One more question is who will be opponents?
Opponents will be, give me a second, I will send you the schedule of the second
Так,
seminar.
друзья, ну вроде все успешно.
Об этом мы узнаем ближе.
I'm sorry, I'll do it later, but your
Николай, может
opponents,
быть, по
Avia
анекдоту,
Sales will present, and opponents will be
как в
Skillbox and
старые добрые
Tinkoff.
времена.
And the second presentation will be by the Spotify team, and opponents will be Tinkoff and Avia Sales. So I will repeat it again. The first one will be Avia Sales and opponents Skillbox and Tinkoff. And the second Spotify and opponents Tinkoff and Avia Sales. I will send it to you right now because I cannot copy and paste it right now. I will send it to you after 2 or 3 minutes. So now we'll have a break. See you again in 1 p.m.
Thank you.
Ребята, простите, что вопросы так получились. Ну, может, у них есть дела поважнее. Ага. Хорошо. До встречи.
Николай, ну анекдот. Давайте, пока у нас как бы приватный диалог у нас состоится вот сейчас. Ну, да, я понимаю. Нет, так вот с тебя начнем. Вспоминай. Топ-10 тупых анекдотов. Для тупых русских. Ну ладно, пока ты ищешь, я могу свой рассказать. Так. Так, ну-ка. Ну, ты как-то, знаешь, как-то вот, ну, даже вот стыдно становится. В общем, вот анекдот, вот я нашел, не знаю, может быть, я его в прошлый раз читал, но это не важно. В общем, попадают в рай армянин, еврей и хохол. Бог им говорит: ну, ёпта, верну вас к жизни, но с одним условием. вы будете живы до первого искушения, которое вас сломит. В общем-то, покумекали армянин, еврей, хохол и согласились. Возвращаются на землю. Хохол видит тризну, отмечают все, ну и полез сразу за стол и пропал. Еврей и армянин смехнулись, что к чему, выходят из дома, идут, значит, по дорожке. Еврей видит, монеты лежат на земле, нагибается за ними, и, блядь, оба пропадают. Я надеюсь, это не будет записано, но вот мораль всей басни такова, да. Не водись с армянами. Моя жизнь не раз мне об этом говорила. Аргументы, только жизненный опыт, Николай. Эмпирическая часть у нас, нашего дискурса начинается. Собственно, не знаю, буду ли я присутствовать на следующей паре. Очень много сил заняло вот это вот кликание по мышке, вот честно скажу, невероятное количество. Поэтому, я покумекаю, так сказать, вот в эти вот 10 minutes. Вот. Собственно, 30 minutes, it doesn't matter because we are in a constant war.